everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be sharing some DIYs that will hopefully help you out if you're moving into student accommodation in the very near future. And even if you're not doing that anytime soon, most of these DIYs are room and home decor oriented, so they should be relevant to everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let's get into it. So let's get into the first DIY, and this is a tennis racket that I've upcycled a little bit to hold some jewellery. So if you want some jewellery storage in your dorm room, then this could be a good way to do it because it's flat and it goes on the wall, so it doesn't take up any desk space at all. All you'll need for this project is an old wooden tennis racket. I picked up mine for £1 in the local charity shops. And you'll need some paint. For mine, I decided to go for this kind of light periwinkle blue and then a brighter blue nearer the handle. You can use whatever colours you want and paint whichever sections of the tennis racket you would like. Once you're done, just go ahead and hang it on the wall using a hook or a command hook. On it, you can hang larger pieces like necklaces, bracelets, and large earrings. Next up, here's a way to upcycle an old cushion cover and make it look really unique and different for your dorm room, especially if you want to add a little bit of colour and something a bit different to your space. For this project, you'll need some very thick wool, and what you need to do is take about 4 or 5 strands depending on the thickness of your wool and lay them out in a line. And then what I'm doing here is using some very thin cotton thread and then just sectioning them off and tying them into these little 1-inch kind of bobbles. Make enough of these as you want to put on your pillow in as many colours as you want. I did 4 and I did 2 in blue and 2 in pink, and then you can attach them using fabric glue in a hot glue gun or just plain fabric glue, or you can sew them on if you'd like to do that too. I just thought this was the quickest and easiest method, especially if you don't like to sew. This is how mine turned out, and I think using textures and cozy fabrics can make you feel a lot more at home in your student accommodation. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make a storage box out of an old cardboard box, because let's face it, if you're a student, you're definitely going to want to be on a budget, and you can store loads of things in this like magazines, books, paperwork, etc., or even your shoes, so you can go crazy. You can store this under your bed or on top of your desk. Let's get into it. To start, you'll need an old cardboard box. A shoebox would work perfectly for this too, so go ahead and cut off any excess cardboard folds if you need to. You want just the box shape without a lid. Once you're finished, if your box is a little bit unstable on the bottom, turn it over and use some tape to cover up the edges where the box meets. Use as much as you want. Don't worry if it doesn't look great, because we're going to go over this, you won't see it at all. I'm using masking tape because that's all I had, but duct tape or packaging tape would work much better. Once that's done, go ahead and find a very large piece of fabric. You can reuse an old sheet if you'd like to, if you're ready to get rid of it. Make sure it fits the length of all of the sides of your box plus an extra length. And then what you can do is you can glue the bottom like I'm doing here and fold this around. This way you don't have too many seams. Pull it very tightly as you wrap it around the sides of the box, and then as you get to the end you'll have this extra piece. Fold it over like I'm showing you here so you don't have a raw edge, and then use the glue to glue it in place. A hot glue gun works perfectly for this because it dries very quickly. Make sure you line up your print if you have stripes like I'm doing, and you can then go ahead and fold in your fabric, and you can do this messy or neat. Mine's somewhere in between, it's not perfect. Try and wrap it kind of like you would if you were wrapping a present and make some triangular corners, but at the end of the day no one's going to see the bottom of the box because you're going to have stuff in it anyway. Once you're done with that, as an extra detail, you can add some rope as a handle. I'm poking 2 holes near the top of the box, and if you guys do this, please be careful if you're using scissors like I'm doing. Then push a little bit of rope or ribbon or whatever you want to use through the holes and tie it in a very tight knot at the back so that it won't come back through these holes. Once you're finished, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. It's a great way to organize on a budget, and you can do this, like I said, with old sheets or any large t-shirts you have lying around to save you from buying extra fabric. Next up is the easiest tapestry ever and kind of a life hack on how to hang it up. It's not really a DIY, definitely a life hack, but if you want a tapestry to cover up some of the cinder block or the boring old walls in your student accommodation, then hopefully this will help you. Go to your local fabric store and pick out about 1.5 meters worth of a really fun print that you'd like to hang on your wall, and then go ahead and straighten, well, iron the seams down every side to make sure they're nice and crisp. Don't use hair straighteners like me, that's not a good idea. I can't find my iron anywhere, but you get the point. Anyway, once you've done that, you can go and hang your tapestry on the wall. I'm using these command type strips, I think they're like off-brand ones, and cutting them in half and then putting them on the back of pegs. This is a great hack to hang things on your wall without making any damage, and you can take these off at the end of the year and you won't be in any trouble. Plus, it hangs up a tapestry really well. And like I said, I can't find my iron anywhere and mine's looking a bit creased, but I would recommend ironing your fabric before you start your project and you should have a nice non-creased looking tapestry. Next up is an easy hack for hanging frames with no nails or hooks, and it won't damage your walls as long as you do it properly. So you want to start with some washi tape that you know will not damage your walls, and then using a little bit of hot glue, you can place a line of that on the washi tape directly and place your frame onto the hot glue. You could also put some washi tape on the back of the frame so you don't damage it, but I knew it would peel straight off my frame, so I was good to go. But yeah, this will peel off your wall really easily and you don't need to use command strips, but do try and test it before you do your whole room just in case. And lastly, here is a really easy way to organize your drawers on a budget if you want to organize socks or tank tops or whatever. I'm taking 4 sheets of felt and cutting them in half. I'm going to make kind of an accordion style organizer, so I'm hot glue gunning it. As you can see here, I did 3 lines of glue, one at the end, one at the middle, and then one at the other end, and then I placed my felt on top of this. On the next piece of felt, I did it directly in the middle of those last 2 lines of glue, so kind of 1/3 of the way in and then another 1/3 of the way in, and then put another piece of felt on that, and then you repeat the process. So start at the edges again and do 3 lines of glue, then 2 lines of glue, and keep going until you've run out of felt pieces. You can make this as big or small as you would like, but when you're finished you should have something that looks a little bit like this, and it opens and closes, and when you're done with it you can store it flat so you can save it for another day and it won't take up too much space. This is it in action. It's really great for saving space and rolling up some of your smaller items like tank tops and socks. It makes them really easily accessible and your drawers should remain clutter-free for the whole semester. That is all of the DIYs I have to share with you guys in today's video. I really hope you enjoyed them. If you make any of them, I'd love to see them. Maybe tag me on Instagram, Twitter, or comment down below. And if you are going to start university or college anytime soon, I'd love to know about it. Tell me when you start in the comments. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. I'm gonna sign off here. I hope you guys have a great week and a great start to university if you're going there. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.